Right now, Pittsburgh's best sports show is about to begin. Call us or tweet us. We've got things to talk about on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call.
Thank you very much, JT. Appreciate that. Good evening, everyone. Welcome inside the Fan Cave. This is your place to sound off. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. All you have to do is call us at 412-575-2600. Joining me tonight is Suzie Cool over in Studio A. And Suzie, we saw another Pirate loss. That's 5 in a row. But I'm going to start with O'Neal Cruz, who today was invited and accepted an invitation to the Major League Home Run Derby at the All-Star Game. So he's not an All-Star.
Yep.
But he's in this game, which I have no problem with. I see a lot of pushback. People are saying, wow, he's not an All-Star. Why should he be there? Well, the example is what the NBA does with their skills competition, specifically the slam dunk contest. The two-time winner is a guy who's from the G League, and Mac McClung, and he can do it. So I think it's gotten to entertainment more than anything. And why wouldn't you take this guy? Tonight he had a 458-foot home run with an exit velocity of 115. They want him, and he's the stat cat king.
I feel like this is what the kids would say, as he should be in the home run derby. It's O'Neal Cruz. I mean, look at what he has done. I mean, in the StatCast era with exit velocity, he's leading the MLB right now at 108 miles per hour with exit velocity. He hits another bomb tonight after this announcement for his 16th of the season. Why wouldn't you want him in this competition? And he even said, you know, yeah, maybe the numbers really aren't there, but I want to give people that are there in the stands and my family that wow factor of exit velocity and just pop one off every once in a while he's there.
And here's the thing about O'Neal Cruz. If he wins this thing, and who knows, he might, he's going to make more money that one night than he will the entire season with the Pittsburgh Pirates. So I think there's incentive for him to do it. And again, this is an entertainment thing. Things have changed. Rules have changed. I have no problem with it, but there are those who believe that if you're not an all-star, then you shouldn't be in this competition. He's far from being an all-star. His average has plummeted. He's been too erratic, too inconsistent. Still, the talent is over the top, and they don't have enough over-the-top talented players, so I'm keeping him. I know trade deadline's coming up. I've had people here tell me that he should be traded. Okay, you're selling low, and you're giving away a potential talent who could be 30-30 this year.
I also want to know who is upset about this move, right? Is it Pirates fans? Because you shouldn't be upset if you're a Pirates fan. You have Paul Skenes to look forward to in the All-Star game like last year, but O'Neal Cruz now adds that bright spot. Yeah, it's very inconsistent at the plate for him. We saw him strike out today, then he goes and he hits a bomb in his next at bat off of a sinking ball. So I think that everybody just... I think if you're a Pirates fan, you need to be excited about this, right? And I think that it comes with that wow factor and that exit velocity.
And you see our KDKA.com Connect poll of the night, and that would be, should O'Neal Cruz be in the home run derby despite not being an all-star? So let us know what you think. So far, 69%, or it's changing, say yes, he should be. And again, it's an entertainment venue, so you want to do that. As far as the game itself, Pirates lost again, and they were very inconsistent offensively. We got this tweet from Jeffrey Davis, who says Royals got clutch hits when they needed them. Pirates, not so much. 3 and 4 hitters came up with the bases loaded. And what do we get? A weak grounder and a lazy pop-up. And that's been the problem. They've not been able to come up with, mostly all season long, save that 6-game win streak where they outscored everyone 43-4. But here's Jack Suwinski, and this is a very Pirate thing. He was hitting the cover off the ball in AAA. Suzie comes up here and goes 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts.
Yeah, I mean, again, I've said this time and time again. I do not think Jack Suwinski is your answer. I know that moves were made for him to get up here with injuries and whatnot. That's always very frustrating. He was hitting 119 before he came up here today. I get he was hitting 280 in AAA, but the numbers have just not transferred up into MLB level, right? Last year he hit 182 with the Pirates. So continuing to bring Jack Suwinski up isn't your answer for this lineup. And again, this lineup just isn't consistent enough. I mean, the Pirates tied it up on a ball by Brian Reynolds that should have really been an inning-ending double play. So again, that timely hitting wasn't there tonight. And sadly, they got more hits tonight than they did last night, and they only had 6.
And their hitting is a problem, whether it's drafting, whether it's developing, or both. The bottom line is they haven't brought enough talent here, and they've had plenty of opportunity to do so. I look at Cal Raleigh as the biggest example. And again, it's one, and all teams make mistakes. However, he was a third-round pick in 2018, the same year the Pirates drafted Travis Swaggerty, and then the third round, a guy who's no longer in baseball. So, you got to make the draft work, even if it's not the first overall or the top 10. There are ways to get guys and find guys. Your drafting, your scouting has to be all better, which leads us into this tweet from Ryan Zedek, who says, it's interesting how the Washington Nationals fired their manager and their GM at the same time right before the trade deadline. We'll talk more about that as we go along here. Need to take a break, but that's right. They're not worried. They're just as bad as the Pirates are, if not worse in many ways. They made a change at both GM and the manager. We'll talk about that. We want to get your phone calls as well. It's 412-575-2600. This is the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call live on KDKA+. Our Xfinity tweet of the night comes from Sarah Langs, who says, Derby ready, 83.2 miles per hour bat speed. O'Neill Cruz's fifth home run of 115 miles an hour plus this season, most in MLB. As we said, StatCast king, and that's why he's in this game, and we'll see how it goes. Here's the competition here, Suzie. We got Ronald Acuna Jr. He'll be the hometown favorite, but he is injured a little bit. He's not... I don't know if he's going to be able to play based on how his injuries have gone, but he's back, and since he came back, he's been hitting the ball very well. Cal Raleigh, who has 35 home runs. The Pirates saw him last week. He hit 2 against them. James Wood, who's having a really good year and was a key part of that Juan Soto trade that Washington got back from San Diego, and then Byron Buxton of the Twins. I would give Cruz as good a shot as anyone. I know he doesn't have the numbers that these guys do, but he has the opportunity, knowing that these pitches are going to be very hittable, to hit long home runs. Do you give him much of a chance?
I do, actually, because at the end of the day, I mean, you got to think it is kind of like batting practice, and it's my understanding that his translator, who pitches a lot of batting practice, is going to be pitching to him, so he's going to be very used to that, right? Now, again, he has said, I am going to pop one off every once in a while. I'm going for that exit velo on a couple of my hits. So if he's trying to do that every single hit, then I don't know if the numbers are going to be there, but if he does relax and just take it like BP, I don't see why he can't compete with these other people.
Yeah, he just better not swing and miss a lot, because he's done that throughout the course of the season as well. So.
Yeah, that too.
One other big name that happened tonight in the big news, we talked about it yesterday, Gavin McKenna is the phenom, the generational talent who will be the #1 overall pick most likely next year in the NHL draft. And there are people out there hoping the Penguins get a lottery pick, and maybe he could win it and get him after having the #1 with Lemieux, #1 with Crosby. This guy's going to go to Penn State. You talk about a hockey program that has elevated itself into elite status. Penn State came very close last year to winning it all. They could do it this year. He's going to be paid $700,000 to play hockey for 1 year at Penn State before he turns pro.
That's just incredible, right? That was just unheard of whenever I went back to when I was in school back in the day, which really wasn't that long ago. However, you just don't know what the Penguins are going to do with their moves and what they're really thinking. And they know that a rebuild is, it's in the making, and it's definitely coming with what is going to happen with Sidney Crosby, Malkin, and even Letang.
Yeah, and they have, hope. This has been a big draft for them. They have 3 first-round picks, one of whom signed today. Ben Kindle got his first contract. It's a 3-year entry-level deal. And, boy, if they could somehow win a lottery again, that would be spectacular. I wouldn't count on it, but I would think that they're going to be a lottery team because, on paper, at least, they don't stack up to some of the rest of the teams, especially in the Eastern Conference. Let's get to the phone lines at 412-575-2600, beginning with Kirk in Manor. Hello, Kirk. How are you?
How are you guys doing tonight?
We're doing well, thank you.
That's cool. Real quick, really, O'Neill Cruz in the All-Star game, hitting home runs. Does he deserve that? Come on.
You're kind of laid back, Kirk. Well, I will say this. If you're looking, and it's an entertainment thing, I keep coming back to that, Suzie. It's an entertainment thing. You're looking for guys who hit long home runs. That's what this competition largely has looked for over the years. I remember when I was here at Three River Stadium back in the day, trying to get to the upper deck. This guy has that kind of talent. He's not an all-star. No one's going to confuse him with being an all-star. But again, for this night, you want some of the long ball boppers. A lot of guys don't want to do it. He's willing to do it.
And I think you said this upstairs, right? What are you more willing to watch, the All-Star game or the Home Run Derby next week? Honestly, I'm going to take the Home Run Derby. Of course, the All-Star game is exciting, but your favorite player from your favorite team might only be in there. Like Paul Skenes, he might only be in there for 1 inning, right? He is going to only be in there for 1 inning. So you have to, I think that, again, you say the entertainment factor, just take it in. O'Neill Cruz is impressive with what he does with his bat speed, that exit velocity. He's leading both those those columns for Major League Baseball right now. So I think that it's going to be exciting to watch him do that. Again, I don't think that he is all-star caliber, but I do think that he does deserve to be a part of the home run derby with the numbers he's putting.
Yeah, I think the games, all-star games in general, have gotten boring to me. The Pro Bowl has totally reinvented itself. So has, the NBA. It used to be, I can take you back to a time when they played defense in NBA All-Star games. They don't do that anymore. Typically, your scores are going to be 200 to 199 because it's all just showtime. And if it's going to be showtime there, the slam dunk, the three-point shooting contest, to me, are better watches than this. So the NHL, I'd rather watch their skills competition than the game they play on the ice. So I think it's time for that kind of stuff. And I think MLB is just looking for guys who can fit that bill, and he's one of them. Back to the lines, we got Bill in Greensburg. Hello, Bill. You're our number one Cochrane Go One Better caller of the night. Hello.
Hi, guys. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Bob, have you heard any talk, rumor, anything about signing Paul Skenes to a long-term contract? And the reason why I bring that up is, would this not be the nail in the coffin for Bob Nutting if he doesn't sign this guy? Because Pittsburgh is so enamored with this guy. And if he don't put up $300 to $400 million over, let's say, 10 years, I really do think this is going to be the nail in the coffin in him. Have you heard any rumors or any talk?
No, and let's be honest, Bill, he's not going to sign him. Not the kind of money he's going to need at that point. If you look at Kansas City, the team they played tonight, Bobby Witt Jr. is 25 years old. They've already given him in Kansas City a market very similar, if not less, than Pittsburgh in terms of size, and yet he has a contract that could pay him over the next 15 years $377 million. It's doable. They're making money. It's a choice. His choice, Susie, is not to do it. And you have a generational player. I would think second about that, but I don't think he will. He's not going to make that payment.
Yeah, I mean, I said this to Cassidy last night. There's a number of pitchers that have come through this organization. Maybe they aren't generational players like Paul Skenes is, right? But a number of pitchers. We have Garrett Cole, Jameson Taillon, Tyler Glasnow, who all went on to contend for World Series or World Series winners at one point that were in the Pirates system, but they did not want to pay them, so they went elsewhere. I think, unfortunately, the same thing is going to inevitably happen with Paul Skenes.
Yeah, and the inevitability is he's going to be traded by the Pirates at some point. It'll probably be 2 years from now based on how things go. But as I said, they could do it if they want to do it. I would do it. I'd make a statement that I'm trying to make this. And then next year when the CBA expires, if I were Bob Nutting, I'd make a big, loud noise saying that we need some changes to this system if we're going to have any chance other than once in a blue moon to compete. So we'll see what that happens. It's unlikely also. But they have money to do it if they want to do it. We'll see what they do. But most importantly this year, it's the trade deadline. And what Ben Cherington does, knowing his job is not certainly guaranteed beyond the rest of this season. All right, let's go to Michael in Beaver Falls. Hello, Michael. How are you?
Well, howdy, Bobby. Howdy, Suzie Q.
Hello.
I have a feeling the Steelers are going to have an excellent year, given the fact that we have a lot of young players that are very talented with the experienced guys. I believe they're going to jail quick. Do you think it's going to take them a while to jail and be awesome this year, or do you think it's going to be, we're going to have to wait till next year, which I doubt. But I truly believe we're going to have a great year, guys. Hip, hip, hooray.
Michael, I love your optimism, but, it's not so much even the young guys. They have a lot of veterans they brought in here, and that's what they're counting on. When you look at it, from Aaron Rodgers to DK Metcalf to Jalen Ramsey to Jonnu Smith, these are all 30-plus-year-old people. So they better hope that does gel. And I think the Steelers are making a statement. Susie, it's very obvious to me that next year is the year they're looking for to try to revamp everybody and come up with a franchise quarterback in that draft, which is here in Pittsburgh. I'm anxiously looking forward to that. But this year, they're trying to do their best to be a contender. And by doing it, by bringing in guys who have big resumes. And I give them credit for that.
Yeah, I think that you have to give them credit, right? And it's been a weird offseason. The Aaron Rodgers signing was put off for so long, and then it finally happens. Again, I think that they are putting a lot of the right pieces into place, but this year's kind of, hey, let's survive and let's try to contend, and then really in 2027, I almost said 2026. Well, yeah, 2026, we'll really go for it.
Larry in Newcastle, before we go to break, go ahead, Larry. How are you tonight?
Good evening, everyone. The reason why I'm calling, I don't know whether you're aware or not, but the Cleveland Browns are going to get a new stadium by the airport.
Right.
And they're saying, I just was wondering, how soon will the Stewart Stadium be paid off, or liens against to be satisfied?
Yeah, I think they have till the end of this decade here to do that, but I also think there are going to be some improvements along the way. I know there's a lot of talk about that sort of thing, so I don't have specifics. As far as the Brown Stadium, it's going to be domed. A lot of people don't like that, including me when it comes to football. But as things continue to change, the one thing you see is you want a stadium that has opportunity to bring in other acts, whether it's entertainment acts, whether it's tractor pools, truck pools, anything else. They're trying to make as much money and capitalize on a stadium that in the wintertime will still be comfortable for people to attend and watch some of these events. So this goes beyond football. This is about how to make as much money as you can, and that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, I mean, right now I don't see those changes happening anytime soon, but maybe in the future. How would you feel about a dome here in Pittsburgh?
I wouldn't like it.
I think that would just be weird. That takes away from an element of a football game.
Yeah, I mean, it's supposed to be outside, and weather is a part of what they've done for years now. They've gotten away from that in many venues, and I think if you're looking to host a Super Bowl, and I'm not suggesting Cleveland can do that, but my point is if you have a dome stadium, you have a better chance of doing it. They did it once in New York, and I don't know that they like that experience to come back in cold weather. So if you have something like that, you could use it for a lot of different things, and I think Cleveland's probably looking at it that way. We got to take a break. We'll come back with more right here on the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. We're live on KDKA+. Ken Rice is at the anchor desk tonight, getting set for KDK News at 11 o'clock. Ken?
Bob, tonight, two men who survived being shot at the Trump rally here last summer sit down exclusively with KDKA. Plus, a controversial development moving ahead in Washington County, and Ray Petland tracking a wet and warm week, all coming up at 11, Bob.
All right, Ken, we'll see you then. Meantime, let's go to Brad in Brookline before we wrap things up. Hello, Brad. How are you tonight?
Hey, what's going on? Year 6 of a rebuild of the Pirates. Why are they, how can they be sellers after year 6?
Because they still don't have enough, which tells you all you need to know about year 6. Johnny Cam on Twitter says this: do not trade Keller, innings eater. Pirates, imagine Pirate stars go 7. He is an innings eater, okay? But my response to that would be, yeah, I'd like to keep him around. He has 3 more years. You know what he's going to make, so that's good. But at the same time, you could lose with him. You can lose without him. If he can bring back a big return, and this will be the test for Ben Cherington, Suzie, he has to come up with the right return if you're going to make deals like this.
That's a major deal, especially because this rotation is the one bright spot, or it has been the bright spot for the Pirates. It's the one thing that has somewhat worked for this team. So trading a piece of that, I think, is a dangerous move unless you have the right pieces that are coming back to this team.
All right, we're out of time. Suzie, thanks very much. Appreciate it. We'll do it again tomorrow night, same time, same channel, right here, 10:35 on KDKA+, and most nights 93.7 The Fan. It's the Ireland Contracting Nightly Sports Call. Hope you have a great night. Thanks for joining us.